Okay, welcome back to the Bootleg Corner Movie Review Hours, and we are going right back into Welcome to Derry episode 3. We dropped on Sunday this week or last week, depending on how you count your days. But I'll be jumping right into it. The first thing I want to say is I think we had a missed opportunity with Juniper Hill. Now, if you remember my last review, I said there was a chance for something diabolical, something crazy, something really wild to go on to happen in Juniper Hill while the Bainbridge was kept there as an asylum prisoner, an asylum patient basically. And going by this episode, as this episode started, we are seeing that there was nothing even. They skipped over that arc, over everything that could have happened in Juniper Hill, and basically just let the Bainbridge go. And to me, I'm sorry I'm starting with the criticism, but to me that was like a missed opportunity. An asylum is a place where you can basically take things to the next level. You can basically do anything you want there. It's like it's open season, and they just glossed over that, and they are saying that they've treated Lily Bainbridge and everything is all right, and her mother is coming to take her back. And like when I saw that, I shook my head basically, because I could not believe that they let such a ripe opportunity pass them by. Now the next thing is one thing I should have said in my review of episode 1 and 2 is about Halloran. Who is Halloran? Where is he from? Why does he have the power to like locate? And why does he have the psychic powers basically? Where is he from? Is he a Derry citizen? Is people from Derry? Why does he have these psychic powers, and what is his own personal agenda apart from being used as a tool to look for Pennywise? So that's one thing we don't know. Halloran is basically an unquantified factor right now, because we do not know where he's from, or what his own personal agenda is, or what his history is that is basically driving him to help the US government look for such a weapon that we know the capability of what Pennywise is and what he can be in. I don't even think anyone, I won't even say in the wrong hands, because I don't think there's any possibility of these guys actually catching Pennywise and using him to do their bidding. But even if that is possible, why is Halloran in position to help these guys? So I'm basically just repeating myself, but who is Halloran basically? Where is he from? And what is his history, and what is his story that has led him up to this point to being used as a compass to find Pennywise in Derry? That's one question I'll have to ask, and I'll have to answer at some point in this series. Now, the next thing is I talked about the Shokopiwa people in episode 1 and 2 review. I said we'll have to see them and their history with Derry and their history with Pennywise. And also, I think this episode also launched us with that, because we saw a throwback, I think 50 or 60 years earlier in 1903, when this little girl and this little boy somehow found a way. They were chasing each other, then the kid ran into the thick wooded forest, and he now met another variant of Pennywise, which is different from all the other variants we've seen so far. And this is leading me to another question that I want to ask, which I'll be asking later. But like I said, the Sokopiwa people we are seeing with this girl now, finally we are seeing her. She's an older woman in the current time of the show. And she has her personal agenda, because, I mean, they were the original inhabitants of the land before the white people and other people came into it. And now she doesn't really even want them to stop looking for Pennywise, because she knows whoever is coming here to look for Pennywise are basically asking to get killed. And then the sacred lands are being desecrated, are being dug up and all of that stuff. So for her, this is basically a means to kill two birds with one stone. If that's the phrase I'm going to use. I don't even know if I'm using it correctly. But basically, Pennywise is going to be a useful tool to kill these white soldiers who have come into their land and try to take even more of their land that they've taken before. Then for her, it's basically open season for Pennywise. So that's why she was telling her son to do nothing at that point in time, because she doesn't even really know what they are looking for. And if looking for Pennywise is going to bring these guys to their own death, I mean, it's fair game for her after all. Ancestors were killed by the white men and all these other people when they came into American lands and all that stuff. Now, as I was saying with Pennywise, is the Pennywise monster we saw in the movies, I would really say is the strongest variation of the Pennywise monster, because the other guys we've seen, they look a lot more scary, to put it that way. If I'm to put it that way, I don't know maybe if everyone will agree on my conclusions, but the other variations, the other variants of Pennywise, they've looked and they've acted a lot more scary than we've seen Pennywise to be in the past 2 It movies. So maybe Pennywise will show us something in this series to show us that he's actually the real, basically. But I think these other variants have been beat as regards to sheer scale of terror and all that stuff. But that's something we'll have to see. But I'm just putting it out there because I think Pennywise the Clown is falling behind in the power rankings, if you're going to say it that way. Pennywise is falling behind in the power rankings. Now, as for the Losers Club, we are seeing them reignited. It should really say reignited because these guys are supposed to be the earlier version of the Losers Club. And I should have known, or we should have known, that these guys, the first kids in the movie, will not really be part of the Losers Club, because if you can remember, one of the main things the Losers Club had in the It movies were bicycles. And now we are seeing 4 of these guys. Are they 4 or 5? But I think this crew of guys right now, all of them have bicycles. If that's going to be the marker we're going to use to identify them, all these new guys basically have bicycles. So they are going to be like the first, not really the first, because I think there's still an older story that's going to be told in that season, so season 3, about Derry. So this is one of the earliest iterations of the Losers Club. And the other thing is, these guys went on to do a ritual to call a monster without having any backup. Should I even say backup? Without having any plans of how to send the monster away. They were going to perform a ritual to call a monster to comfort without having any without having it's not even insurance, without having any means of sending the monster away, basically. So it was all crooked, it was all messed up from the start. And even if they were not sure of what they were doing, like I said earlier, you don't open the door without knowing a way to close it. And we saw Pennywise show them that he was not one to be trifled with. Now the next thing is, they finally found a way to take some multiple pictures, and I think the only picture that they could print was the last one where Major Hanlon's kid took a picture of Pennywise the Clown. Now the next thing is, the person they showed that picture believe that they've actually really seen something. Because now the story is there's a scary monster in Derry and all that stuff. But now you are bringing a picture of a clown, no matter how scary that clown may look. Whoever they report to, will the person believe it? That's the next thing I'm asking. So I don't really know. I think they missed an arc with Juniper Hill. The kids, they are doing things they are not yet prepared for. Halloran, we do not know what he is, who he is, or where he has come from. And Pennywise is falling behind in the power rankings for this series. This is still the Bootleg Corner on the Bootleg Corner. Hit me with your thoughts, your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and all that stuff. Keep it locked in, and I'll be back.